The revolution may not be televised, but it will be broadcasted. Welcome to True Culture, where we stay true to all cultures, especially our own. Thanks for tuning in to the Tap In. You are now vibing with the host who loves you the most. I am Waddy. Joining us today is hip hop artist, songwriter, activist, and just recently this year, she's also added producer to her resume. Sisters and brothers, let's give a warm True Culture welcome to DC's own Bennu Byrd. Hey, welcome, fam. Welcome. We're super excited to have you here today, man.
Man, I'm
How you feeling?
blessed. Feeling blessed. I'm feeling grand right now. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Waddy, you already know we go back, so it's just good vibes,
back.
good energy.
Man,
Yeah.
Like I said, man, hey, then don't y'all forget, man, Bennu Byrd with the Y. All right, Bennu Byrd with the Y. She been in the game for a long time, grinding, giving us dope music, dope vibes. She's been entertaining us and also educating us for years. So I'm just excited to have her here today. We finally got a chance to set aside some time to fully tap in with Bennu Byrd. So let's talk about your name first, Byrd. I think I really love the Bennu. You know, I like true things. I like true culture. That's why the show is called True Culture. So I like how you took it even further back than the Phoenix. You know, I like the Bennu is pretty much linked with the sun and creation and rebirth, and it's also, you know, the Greek mythology, how they took the Phoenix and all that. So tell us about how you decided or why you decided to make that your moniker, where that inspiration came from.
Man, I think comedic philosophy was one of the true teachings, like the first true teachings that I really came into outside of like what they was teaching me in school.
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity to go to a public charter school in DC called the Comedic Institute for Magnificent Achievers.
Dope, you went there.
AKA Kima.
Awesome.
Yes, Kima.
Shout them out.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Orwa and Kima Public Charter School. Our history book, the book that we learned history out of, was a book by Dr. Anthony T. Browder. It's called Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. And it was my 11th grade year in high school when I really felt like I started to like truly understand the true history, like you said, beyond just what they teach us in our history books here in America, just like Western society. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
At first, I mean, that knowledge and that information just blew my mind, especially when you understand, like, when you go back to Kemet and then you look at Washington, D.C. and how connected D.C. and Egypt really are as far as like the layout of the city, and how these monuments are like aligned with like celestial bodies.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, our people had this knowledge and this information.
The city is modeled off of that ancient knowledge. Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people don't understand that. So when I came into that knowledge, I felt so like excited and inspired to like, I had to share it. And I feel like it was my pen just kind of went there. You know what I'm saying? As I'm putting these lyrics down and really getting things off my head, that's where it went. You know what I'm saying? Like my real life experience is what drives my pen. But
yeah, that pen is nasty too. Pen is nasty. How long, like, when did you realize that music was it for you? You know what I mean? How long has it been?
Man, I've been into music since I was a child. If you let my mom tell it, like, I've been loving music since I was in the womb. Like, my mom almost gave birth to me in a cabaret on the dance floor, turning up to some George Clinton, you know what I'm saying, Parliament Funkadelic. Like,
shout out mom, like Queen Mother. Queen Mother
they put it in me.
Shout her out.
Yes, Queen Mother Byrd. She put it in me. My dad put it in me. And I just been loving music since I was young. ball was life for a long time, but the music was always there in my heart. It's always been a passion of mine. I didn't start really exploring it until I went away to college. Well, no, actually before that. Shout out to the Calvin Coolidge Senior Marching Band, man. That was really my first time really tapping into like my love for music was when I joined Calvin Coolidge Marching Band.
Are your parents also artists or creatives, or is they just lovers of music and just made sure that they were able to give that to you?
Yeah, the culture I think it's just always been present. Like whether it's music, family. I mean, that's just something that we gather around. Just music. You know, my dad is just always vibing out. I think they just love music. I think they
that's
just
what we are anyway. Like
lovers of the culture. It's just kind of it's normal. Like cranking go-go music, playing the old school hip hop stuff, like the old soul 70s soul music, 80s R&B. Like I just know so many musicians that I grew up with who are like doing major things in the music industry and just in their own craft. So I like to consider myself like a master collaborator. Like I just love to collaborate with people. Like
that's awesome.
Whether it's musicians, I've recorded violins, I've recorded bass guitar, lead guitar, all types of percussion, like go-go style, go-go inspired percussion on my music. So you hear that live instrumentation. Like that's something that is very important to me, to incorporate the things that inspire me and the sounds that I hear. It's like I want to be innovative and creative with my stuff. I don't like to do too much sampling. I like to be inspired by this sound and then take that and, you know, make it my own. So shout out to Max.
You do it the right way. Yeah, go ahead and shout Max out.
Right. Hey, shout out to Max.
Killing it. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Killing it. Hey, y'all, if y'all don't know Max Rewalk, tap into Max Rewalk, man. As a matter of fact, I should actually, I'm gonna get him on the show one of these days, man. We really got to tap into Max because I don't know how he be doing it, but he be doing it.
Hey, look,
I don't know where it come from, but it comes.
I really would love to get him on this show because he's always, I think when me and him linked up, he nurtured like the side of me that was yearning to like experiment because he's an EDM producer. Like he makes EDM music. So
that's another part of your music that I love, that you EDM funk. Well, go ahead. I ain't gonna cut you off again.
Nah, you good. So like, cause you get it, it's resonating with you. So I love to hear that.
Your music has always resonated with me, man. Like, I mean, when I first heard Pray, matter of fact, shout out, we cannot go any further without shouting out AB the Pro, man. If you don't know AB the Pro, Alim Bilal, man, shout out Culture Over Corporate, shout out Elu, check out Elu Volume 1 and Volume 2.
That Volume 2 is hot too.
Shout out Uptown XO, Tragic, all of them, man. Good guys.
Hey, look,
that music is serious.
Everybody ain't like us, and I think that's what really drew me to AB, to Alim. So shout out to Alim Bilal. He was one of the first producers whose beats I ever rapped on. He was the first producer that actually believed in me, who heard me rap one time. Like my homie Kyrie brought me over to him and was like, yo, and then I picked the beat. It was a joint called Proper Things, and I just ripped that joint. I had a code and everything in that whole session.
Man, I remember Proper
Things. And that Proper Things was like, I'm back for the first time, so let me introduce that old climate flow. I ain't talking Nike boots. Came in the building, elevated to the roof, dropping rappers off the ledge. Now I got the fucking juice. See, my skills as an MC, as a writer, like I was a writer before I was a rapper. Okay, I was writing
poetry. Yeah, that kind of like
I was just good with words, and I was studying artists like Queen Latifah, like MC Lyte, like EVE, like Jay-Z, like LL Cool J, like Rakim. I was studying all these artists. My mom put me on to all these artists, so at a young age, so I was studying hip hop, like what it meant to actually rap, to be an MC. So I just took my natural pen and fused it with these skills that I was learning of like how to ride the beat, how to flow, how to switch my cadences up and stuff like that. So my HBCU education helped me to be able to articulate myself a lot better. So it wasn't even until I got into college that I really dove into the music industry, learning the business. So shout out to Clark Atlanta University and my whole entire network in the AUC. Yeah, it was just God kind of really put everything in place in order. But I mean, I met Kyrie at CAU, and that was when I came out of my shell and really started showing people that I had this talent. And then Kyrie introduced me to AB, and the rest was history. We made All Hail the Queen. Yeah, we made All Hail the Queen, and that joint is a classic. Like, that's a certified classic project. And I think Max Rewalt produced Black Self.
He did. That's one of my favorites, man. Actually, when I called you that day, I asked you, I said, can I use this song as an intro to one of I was chopping up a video. I had chopped up a video, a promo for somebody. And I let them hear the song. They like, I love this. I would like for that intro, like the first part of that song to be that. I was like, let me call her. Let me call her. And you was like, fam, go ahead. You already know. Say less. Like, that shit go hard, fam. And then what you say too. So, look at your black self. Melanin
like black self.
Come on, man.
Return of the Black Wall Street. Increase that black wealth.
Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. Like, I think I'm very grateful for my former manager, Donald Isaac, and my former mentor, Daniel Black with Studio Nation. Like, they introduced me to Max Rewalt. And so it be divine timing and
put
alignment.
Them together, the puzzle pieces, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm still with these people to this day. I'm still rocking with AB. Aleem Bilal has got quite a few joints that's going to be on my next album. And you already know Max Rewalt is on the next album as well.
AB just dropped a couple hot joints, man, for real. Like,
yes,
that man, Faith Over Fear. Y'all need to check that Faith Over Fear out. He also dropped something earlier this year. I think it's called Stay Positive. Y'all know me. I'm bad with titles, but I love my people and I love
you on point.
I gotta at least tell you.
On point.
But, check that out for sure.
Yeah, man. So those are my peoples. Those are the people who gave me the space and opportunity to be vulnerable, to be creative, to be experimenting, to go crazy. Like, Rewalt was probably looking at me like, yo, this chick, I don't know what she's doing. She's crazy. But look, we about to be mad scientists in this lab and that's how the F a Dress Code, like the remix came about to F a Dress Code, because we just wanted to experiment. We mashed up so many different sounds, and for so long, I didn't even like that song. Like, sonically, I thought, like, this sound is so premature. It's not even where I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to ask you why you remixed it, though. Because don't get me wrong, the remix is dope. Honestly, I'm thankful. I'm glad that you remixed it. But what made you, because the original was, like, already so dope. And I love how you wrote that beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the original joint goes hard. Like, if you haven't heard the original to Fuck a Dress Code, it's on the All Hail the Queen mixtape. All Hail the Queen got the gems on it. In case y'all didn't know, like, it's on my SoundCloud. So if you want to know, you want to find out, tap into what these MPs and these frequencies, just go to my SoundCloud and tap in All Hail the Queen. The mixtape is right there. But yeah, for something, I just wanted to, I felt like it was an energy that was still in me that was like, that I needed to like really get all the way through with that record. And the first one was so hard, but I just wanted to do a remix. And like, really, so I put out All Hail the Queen, and then I put out like a couple EPs. I put out an EP, Thy Will Be Done. I thought it was a hard-ass EP.
Hard, man. Revolution, that was a hard. That Will Be Done. That's the sleeper. I'm gonna be real. That's the sleeper. That's the sleeper, fam.
Cause I dropped so many gems and so many hints of like things to come in that album on that mixtape. The Thy Will Be Done 2 just came. I put that out this year, and that's why I feel like with this next album, my album that I'm working on now, it'll include the Incognito record, which went crazy last year. and it'll also include Reach for the Sky, which came out earlier this year. I'm gonna drop one more single in December, and then we're gonna get ready for the Year of the Eagle in 2021. When I took a trip to South Africa back in 2016, and they nicknamed me Eagle after the African fish eagle. So it's like the Bennu Byrd, that whole concept with a bird. It's like
goes together.
You know what I'm saying? So the African fish eagle is also what I'm known by too, as well, to my brethren over in South Africa. Shout out to the whole South Africa. But it was a producer. They call themselves the Us, and they actually produced every single track on Thy Will Be Done too. So that's like straight South African production. I put out my first studio album, which is called Incarnation. Incarnation was distributed via TuneCore, and TuneCore put it everywhere. And then after maybe like the second year, I didn't renew it because I wanted to try something on BANDCAMP. So then I took it down off of the streaming sites and I put it on BANDCAMP. And I think the only other song that I've distributed as a solo artist on all streaming platforms is Incognito. And I use United Masters to distribute. Because I was just trying, like, as an independent artist, you got to try different things. Especially
figure it out,
just trying to figure out what works. So I did the TuneCore thing. I tried BANDCAMP. I tried United Masters. And I'm starting to believe that in the position I'm in right now, BANDCAMP works best for me because it allows me to cut the middleman out of the situation, and I can sell my music directly to my fans. All you got to do is download the free BANDCAMP app, and when you purchase my music, you get unlimited streaming on the BANDCAMP app. So it's really just kind of trying to pull my fan base over to where I'm doing things at. Because the fans, you know, they spoiled. Like, the fans, they want what they want when they want it. It's like, oh, I got iTunes, I got Apple Music. If it's not on Spotify,
I don't like Apple. I don't even like Apple, so I try not to deal with Apple Music. Spotify's cool, but I like TIDAL because they pay the artist the most amount of money.
That's a fact. That's
why I always try to tell people, like, you tap in the artist, make sure you tap in the TIDAL, because I mean, I have TIDAL and I make sure, you know, I mean, it is $20 a month. It is. But
it's worth it.
It's very much so worth it, because when I don't want to purchase, you know, I still purchase and download my favorite artist's content, but still, if I don't want to, I can still sit there and support the hell out you via TIDAL.
Yeah, run them streams up. Absolutely. Up. So I got a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of music in a few different places, but you can, I mean, anywhere you search is Bennu Byrd, so you can't miss me. Anywhere you go, you can just search Bennu Byrd and you're going to find me. Whether it's YouTube, SoundCloud, BANDCAMP, or all of your favorite streaming sites, or just type it into Google. Everything is going to come up under Bennu Byrd. But, I mean, with this next album, I really feel like it's time for everybody, the world, whoever's paying attention, to be put on notice. Like, the Bennu Byrd is, I'm the next best thing that's about to happen to hip hop, and somebody is going to be smart enough to notice that and to be able to grab me and say, okay, let's do a deal. Let's do an exclusive deal with TIDAL. You know what I'm saying? Let's distribute your album exclusively on TIDAL. Let's do a live stream album release party officially, exclusively on TIDAL. You know what I'm saying? I would love for that to happen. So let's go ahead and manifest that right now. Like, for this next album, we're going to strike up an exclusive deal with somebody who knows like what they recognize when they see and when they hear the Bennu Byrd.
Yeah. And you always drop music at the perfect time, too. I want to tell you, like, I feel like you always drop at the perfect time. It's when you drop, it's like you give the people the words we need when we need it the most. Like, for instance, Fired Up and Kill That Noise. I promise you, sis, like, them Jones resonate with me, like, so much. Because of the time, not just because of, you know, who we are as Black women, what we go through as Black women in this country, but because of the time you dropped it, like 2016, like the end of 2015, leading into 2016, that was a crazy time for us, especially in this country. Like, I want to ask you, like, how much thought do you put into your concepts and your release dates? Or is that just like something that just happens like naturally? You just naturally drop it perfect time?
It's a little bit of both. It's sometimes like feeling, because I'm tapped in with my audience too. So I pay attention to like what my audience is dealing with, what I see them posting on their social media. I take a temperature of like, okay, this is where I keep a finger on the pulse of like the people. I feel what my people are feeling, because I feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? And
like
most of the time when I write those records, like Kill That Noise and Fired Up, that's pure emotion. Like, that's me so pissed that it's, you know what? Hey, yo, I need 2 hours in the studio to bang this this EP out real quick.
Venting. And I love what you were saying when you were venting, because that's how all of us should feel. I'm sorry, but we should. All of us should feel that way.
Yeah. Be pissed, be mad, be upset, but then actually put together a plan. So it's partly, it's one part emotion and just pure just energy and emotion. And then the other part is like that strategic part. And I think that's what our people have to understand. Like, we have to be able to channel that passion and that emotion and actually mobilize and organize. You know what I'm saying? Get organized and then mobilize. Yeah. So I pour everything out into the music. That's the first step. But then I read a lot. So I read up on marketing. I'm studying the business side of the industry as well, and just understanding like how and when to put certain things out. You know what I'm saying? It is a strategy to it.
Yeah, that's smart. It's smart, especially as a Black woman in this. You know, I hate to keep saying that, but it's real. You know, we have a different set of rules we have to live by in this country. You know, it's a different ball game for us, and we have to make sure we always on point, cross our T's, dot our I's, make sure we planning, make sure we stay passionate, but make sure we playing too. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of emotion going on too, fam. So I always say, like, if you want to cry, cry. I've had to learn this myself. It's cool to cry, but just cry for 5 minutes.
Right.
After you cry for that 5 minutes, get it to going. Figure out how you're going to change whatever just made you cry, right?
Precisely.
You know, that's what we got to do nowadays. And your music speaks to a lot of social and economic issues, you know, like that we're dealing with, not only in this country, but in the entire world. You know, like, what inspires you to use your musical gift as a, you know, you utilize, what inspires you to utilize your musical gift as a tool to educate, uplift, and motivate not only like your peers, but like the generation coming up after you?
It's my relationship with God. I have such a strong relationship with God that it's literally the Most High that's like calling all the shots. Like, he's telling me what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like, when I stopped balling, a lot of people was confused, but they didn't understand God had put something in me, put music in me at a young age, and it's like, this is what I was destined to do. Right. If I wasn't doing this, I feel like I wouldn't be fulfilling my purpose on this earth. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely your purpose.
And I'm a pretty shy person when I'm around people who I don't know. But when I got something to say, you definitely gonna hear me. You know what I'm saying? You gonna hear what I gotta say. And I've always felt like I had to be the one to speak up for people who don't have a voice or are not sure how to use their voice. It's like, I'll be the one to step my neck out. You know what I'm saying? Put my neck out there and take all the ridicule. It's like God built me that way. He built me to be able to take that, so that even if I get 1,000 stones thrown at me because I'm a lesbian, because I'm Black, because I got tattoos, because I got dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm Muslim. It's like that's one hand. I can count 5 things that's like against me already. And then I come up in DC and all the challenges of our inner city. And it's like when you start connecting with cultures that are outside of your own, and you start to see the similarities, it's like, wow, like we gotta, if I stood back and was idle and didn't say anything or didn't use my art as a tool to empower, to inform, I just wouldn't be doing what God put me here to do. And I just don't see that as being acceptable. Like, to me, that's unacceptable.
Right.
To like not tap into like my purpose and what God put me here to do.
I think that's the only, not the only sin, but I think that's the original sin. For real. Like, not staying true to your, like, who you are. Like, who you are. Like, who you were before all of this indoctrination, who you were before all of this, all this misinformation and falsehoods.
You strip all those things
strip
down.
all that away. Who are you?
Strip it all away. Who are you truly in your purest form?
Right.
And I feel like that's why this next album is titled In Rare Form. And I don't know if you've seen my Instagram lately, but I just executed a crazy, it was a photo shoot, and I could say it was for my album, but I wouldn't be being 100% truthful. It was for me. You know what I'm saying?
I think I know what you talk about, fam.
With a whole beat, face was beat, hair, you know what I'm saying? And I executed 5 different, very versatile looks.
Right.
And that was me. That was for me to step outside of my box, you know what I'm saying? Right. To show a side of me that is within me that I've been wanting to bring out for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And I just was nervous about it, or I just wasn't ready, or I was like, you know, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it the right way. Like, I'm not gonna half-ass it, I'm not gonna bullshit it. It's gotta be 150, you know what I'm saying? And I just took my time. I went out to Atlanta, I moved to California. I just took time to really get closer to God, closer to myself, push myself outside my limits. And I just trusted my team and with my vision, and we were able to execute. So being true to who I am is like, I can't sleep at night if I'm not being true to myself. Like, I wouldn't have as much confidence as I have if I wasn't being true to myself.
Right.
So that is like, that is the most empowering, most liberating feeling that nobody can never, ever take away from you. They can label you whatever they want to label you, but they cannot, once they can, you can strip all of that away, and nobody can take away who you truly are, and like the core of your heart and who you truly are. And I just want everybody to know, like, that's where your power is. Mm-hmm. Don't shortchange yourself trying to live up to other people's expectations. All that matters is what makes you happy and what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel powerful. Use that to your advantage, and you're going to start to see everything that you want, everything your heart desires, you're going to attract it to you naturally.
Much love and respect for that, sister. For real. I'm super proud of you for that, because I, for one, am a woman who feels like women are everything, and we should be able to do whatever we want to do. As long as we're not out here, just like, you know, any other human being, as long as we're not out here, you know, raping and pillaging and
harming nobody,
and harming nobody. Like, we create all of this. We bring all of this to life, to this physical life, right? You have to understand your power as a woman, and you have to understand that if you want to put on a dress, if you want to wear makeup, I don't care if you're a dom, a femme, whatever all these crazy labels that we adhere to. I don't even know why we have labels anymore. But it's just much love and respect for you doing that.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Let's do it.
Because I'm an 80s baby. So
me too.
Growing up, we didn't have too many women, at least not me, not in my family, not in television, film, in society. I didn't see too many.
Queen Latifah was the only role model I had growing up.
The closest thing to it when she was Cleo and Set It Off. That was the best, the closest representation to somebody who I felt like reflected who I was.
I mean, Living Single too, though. Like, her whole career to me was something I could look up to, because you could tell we knew she was gay, right? Well, gay, right? Lesbian, whatever.
No question.
But the way she presented herself to the world and the way she navigated, man, it was just like, it was just graceful.
It's admirable.
Yeah.
Right. That's the key word.
And she didn't announce nothing. Like, you know, if you think it, then you think it. If you think you know it, then you think you know it. But I'm going to live who I am.
And it's going to be respect.
Yeah.
And there's going to be respect because when you look back at her career, this woman is an icon. This woman is a giant whose shoulders, this is what DJ said to me earlier. She was like, Byrd, you giving me Queen Latifah, the brat vibes. Woo, like the brat energy. I'm like, whoa, these are women who I studied growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
real talk.
She was like, man, you were meant to stand on the shoulders.
I forgot. How did I forget about the brat, man? Come on, I can't. I ain't forget about.
I be feeling myself. I be feeling myself channeling the brat in the booth. Her energy, her cadence, the way she just be going off. Like, I had to tone my down. Listening back to my old stuff, it's like, yo, I was so raw. And I was spitting so hard. I was just trying to go the hardest I could go. And now it's like I'm starting to use my voice more. I'm starting to speak from my diaphragm. Like, you can actually hear the reverberation in my voice, like actually using my voice. So, but, you know, we didn't have role models to look up to like that, for real. And I'll be the first to admit, I even succumbed to a lot of the stereotypes. I played into a lot of the boxes that, to me, dyke was a disrespectful word.
Yo, I hate that word, bro. Sis,
some people don't mind being called a dyke.
All of these words we adhere to, and we like perpetuate. Why are we perpetuating this shit if we already know that's what's been killing us and hurting us and causing us?
Yeah, so I'm trying to strip. I'm stripping all that away. I'm stripping all that away. If you watch my music video, it's called "Kill That Noise."
Yeah,
Kill That Noise video. It says it all. So like, you got to watch the Fired Up video first. And then Fired Up goes into Kill That Noise. And that's dope that you remember it, but it's like, I need people to revisit, like, keep revisiting that music, keep going back on that YouTube and just tap in, because the music, the message, everything is timeless. In my opinion, it's timeless. So just keep revisiting and tapping in. But yeah, in that video, somebody had kidnapped me and tied me up. And then I had on like this virtual reality, like a little visor jump, and I'm seeing these flashbacks of just all this stuff that, you know, our people have had to endure since we were brought over here. And it's like, I was ready to just be done with that. Like, I was ready to shut that down. Like, I was ready to just say, hey, like, let's move past this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not allow this to continue to hinder us from moving forward and letting go. Like, cancer is like, we are known to be clingy. We're known to like hold on to things longer than we should. And as a people, I think that's just human nature. Like, this is Human Nature TV. I think it's human nature for us to hold on to things longer than we should. But it needs to be human nature that we let go of the things that no longer serve us. So that we can make room to let in the things that actually serve us. Yeah,
no attachments, for real. It's like you have to find the balance in that. You have to be attached, but you also have to be detached at the same time.
Precisely. And so that whole thing was like, when I finally decided to, like, it's like I could continue to tune into this BS and continue to allow it to have me bound to where I am right now and not progressing. I just was like, wow, I'm struggling to get out of my position when all I had to do the whole time was take the blinders off, stand up on my 2 feet, and walk out of there. Like, that's literally what happened. You would have thought I was in this downtrodden, just dungeon of a place. And the whole time, it just took me to stand up and make a decision to
that's the power
leave that behind.
The power of a woman, man. We don't even need, it's all right here inside of us. We're the true leaders, we were here first. We are really, Black women really are the original human beings on this earth.
We so tapped in that it's
you know, and it's like, crazy. Because we live in such a patriarchal you know, society.
That was a part of their diabolical plan to divide the Black family, by making the man, like, humiliating him to extreme levels right in front of his woman, right in front of his children, and vice versa, humiliating the woman to extreme levels right in front of him, making him feel powerless. Like, yeah, I'm about to rape your whole wife in front of your kids, and there's nothing that you're gonna be able to do about it. So that's the mental warfare that we're, the spiritual warfare that we're a part of. But I think
Like a lot
really, it to me, it goes back to one thing. It really boils down to one thing when it comes to, like, the Black man and the Black woman. And I think that is, we made the mistake of not putting the woman first. It's like when you say religion, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Where's the woman at?
It's like,
where's the
where's
woman?
the woman?
Where
How
is
do you
she
take
at?
how do you take the woman out of the equation? And I feel like
totally out of the equation.
that was a European, Western way of doing things, because they didn't even have the knowledge.
Westernized society.
They didn't
No,
even
they
have
did have the knowledge, but they wanted to be better than us. The white man has always wanted to be. I'm not gonna say too much.
So look, I got this Ankh tattooed on me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you talk about religion, right? You talk about the Christian
horse and all that.
So you talk about the Christian. I can't even get a good angle, but y'all know what the Ankh. Y'all know what the Ankh is, and it's the womb. See, this is what I mean when I said with the Kemetic philosophy. Like, I started really understanding true essence of life when I started to tap into that, and it's like the cross. It doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? It really just common sense. It told me it doesn't add up. So I think we made the mistake of eliminating the woman from the equation. We need to get back to that. Actually, the woman comes first.
That's exactly what the cross is they literally took the womb portion from the Ankh. Yeah. And that's the cross. That's your Christian cross. So when you worship that cross, just know what they're conveying with that cross.
Exactly. So, we just got to get back to honoring our woman and putting our woman first. And I think if the men stop making excuses and just make that sacrifice, overstanding everything that both men and women have had to endure, then I think if we're willing to make that sacrifice, because I see niggas make sacrifices for dumb shit every day.
But the only reason they're doing that is because the Black women don't even know who we are. So how is a Black man truly going to know, okay, I'm a queen. I'm the person who births all of this into the world. You create, but I created you. I don't come from your rib. You come from my womb. Like, think about this. Black men, right? They really, really be thinking that, like, they're the head of the household. They're not the head of the household. They're the head of the family. Two different things to me, right?
Hello.
So, like,
I like how you put that.
Or it could be vice. You could put it back the other way.
Vice versa.
Two different things.
Either way,
I feel like our roles change at different times. Today, I could be ahead of the household. Tomorrow, I could be ahead of the family because you might be tired. You've been working all day. You might have got shot in your leg because you was out there hunting the food. You might recuperate from your battle wounds, whatever it takes. So, like, it's about just us working together
it's the willingness
and moving together, and whatever needs to be done. If I don't do it, then you do it. If you don't do it, then I do it. We complicate life, fam. I just feel like
we really do. It's too many
labels.
Yeah, it's too much of that. It's too much of that, and I want to strip that down. Like, I've stripped it away from myself. I'm gonna continue to peel it and keep stripping it all the way down. And I want to empower everybody else to do the same. Like, we don't have to conform. We need to go back to the origin. We got to get back to our spirituality. We got to tap back into the true culture, baby. The true culture.
That's what we gotta do. I love how you embrace your individuality, fam. Like, it's really important to stay true to self and lead the next generation with a positive example, right? what keeps you focused though, fam? Like, what keeps you positive? And now I know that you're a Cancer. I know that you gotta be an empath. You gotta feel so much that you probably
Yes,
don't even tell people that you feel, because it's so much that you feel.
it's so much.
How do you
Right.
stay positive through all the bullshit, fam? What keeps you focused?
Like I said, my relationship with God, like that's what grounds me. That's what keeps me centered. That's what keeps me focused. I do a lot of praying. I do a lot of fasting. I do a lot of meditation. I read scripture. And I don't listen to what people tell me. Like that's the other thing. Like I listen to my elders, like my parents. They raised me well. And it's certain things that now that I'm a grown woman, certain things that it's like, okay, I appreciate that. I see where that was coming from. I know that that was in a place of love, but here's how I can take that and transform it and evolve it and take it from where my parents gave it to me and take it to the next level for my kids. So that's what motivates me to do that for the next generation. It's like, take certain things that are pillars, you know what I'm saying? Those cornerstones that like this is how my great grandmother built, and my grandmother and my mother. And now when I become a mother, or now that I've stepped into that role, even though I don't have kids of my own loins, I take the responsibility because I have 4 brothers and sisters, and I got 5 nieces and nephews, and I have a grandmother, and I have family,
All
and it's
like children are our children. That's how I look
come
at it.
on, it takes a whole village. It's, to me, family is everything. So that energy, and I'm a nurturer by nature. Like as a Cancer, but as a woman, I am a nurturer. So it's just in me naturally to be that. I think the key is just surrounding yourself with people who like appreciate that about you.
Right. Who you are to your core, like who you are, and respect that.
And I think as long as you are operating within your core, within your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your third eye chakra, your throat chakra, like speaking your truth, your crown, receiving the download from on high, like your grounding, your root chakra. I didn't even mention my sacral because it's like that
people
part.
Ain't even past the root chakra nowadays.
Right, they ain't even get
it first. We gotta make it through
get the root. And I got stones. There's stones all around me. Like I'm surrounded by stones, like coat pocket, some over there, some behind me. So it's like staying aligned, staying grounded, not being afraid to take risks, like not being afraid to be wrong, not being afraid to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? To like learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like
right there. That's a secret to life, people. That's one of the secrets to life, is to not fear. And that's the part of you I really love, is your courage. Man, it takes courage to do what you're doing, Byrd. I don't know whether you know that or not, but if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you, you're very courageous. You are, and you are very determined as well.
I mean, yes, my determination is probably what got me in a lot of trouble as a youngin'. But I think that's what helps me be successful at the same time. But it's like as you learn, as you gain experience, you learn how to finesse. You learn how to fine tune. You know which battles to choose. You know when to walk away from a situation versus when to get to argue your point all the way down. And I think like I lost a lot of friends at a young age. You know, my best friend Daryl, he lost his life at 17 years old. That changed my life completely because from that point forward, it was like one after the next. Everybody was dying, family members, whether it was drug overdoses or just gun violence or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? Like that is normal in DC, coming up where we come from. So it's like it shouldn't be normal. Like let's normalize conflict resolution. Let's normalize non-violent ways of handling internal conflict. Let's normalize mental health.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's normalize youth development and using that as a tool to end gun violence and to help these kids be able to understand their emotions and understand how to resolve their issues using their words or using music as an outlet or using whatever they have, like other tools besides a tool and like a
But you
gun.
can't give people what you don't have. And a lot of the times I feel like we don't take the time to heal ourselves first.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need individual revolutions. I feel like we're so focused on like the revolution. And we need to focus on like our own personal individual revolution first. And that way we can give to the revolution as a whole. But we don't have enough to give to these kids because we don't tap into what we're doing. What are we showing the kids? What are we conveying? Are we exuding love or are we exuding hate? Are we exuding judgment? Like, what are we doing? What are we showing?
And I've ran into quite a few people in my career that have tried to kind of snip my wings because of the way that I say things or the actual like the content or my it's like I'm some of my records is not for kids. I'm gonna be 100 with you. Certain records is just not for kids. Like as a parents monitor what you let your kids consume because some of this stuff is
yours isn't for kids though. Like even some of days, I mean, okay, I'm about to say that a kid couldn't listen to. I mean, think about what the kids are listening to nowadays, Byrd. Ain't no way this song is telling them the real deal.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying. That was my whole point. It was what I was trying to say. Like,
I need to know what song. We're gonna talk about that later, but I need to know what song somebody said that they.
But that's what I'm saying. It's certain people who don't get it yet, who haven't tapped into their true selves. They might still be censoring themselves, or you know what I'm saying.
Was it a woman who told you that?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, I was hoping.
It's always been men. It's always been men. Okay. It's so weird. It's like a lot of the people in my life who've ever told me I couldn't do something that I shouldn't do something. It's always a man.
Why women rate? Think about this, right? This is
weird. I don't know.
This is a horrible statistic, but it's a real statistic. Over 70% of Black households are fatherless, right? So that means that Black women are raising these men. The majority, right, are raising these men. Why, as a Black woman, are we, one, birthing babies out of our vagina, holding them in our wombs for 10 months? It's pretty much 10 months, right?
10 months.
Yeah. Birthing them out of our vaginas, having them from the point that they don't even know their ass from their head.
Man, come on.
Right? And they grow up to be liars, cheaters, abusers, dogs. Why are we as women raising these type of men? What are we doing wrong?
It's that point. It's the point that you were making earlier. It's like women, more of us have to continue to educate other women on who we truly are, our true nature. It's a lot of women out here who know certain things about our nature, and they use that knowledge and information and power to do bad, to do evil, to like manipulate men, to play with it, pull on their heartstrings. Like you hear it in the music today. That's all they talk about. How they use their feminine, their divine feminine, but they're using it in ways to manipulate men, and it's negative. Like men don't like to be played. They don't want to be pimped out.
They are the hearts. Men are the hearts.
They have hearts. They got hearts too, and that's what I need women to understand. Like men got hearts too. So it's like you think that what you're doing is cute, and you think because men have a way of shielding their emotions or not showing their emotions as much as women, you think that it doesn't affect them.
It affects them the most. It affects them the most. We created. Women have to understand that we created men. We brought them here to help us to be our other half, to be that. I mean, can you imagine doing everything on your own? You impregnate yourself, you're carrying the baby, you have the baby, you got to go out, you got to hunt the food, you got to cook the food, you got to clean the clothes, you got to take care of the children, you got to do you got to build a house, you got to go cut the firewood. It's so much to do just to maintain this physical life.
Man and women, we are each other's companion.
We complement.
Life companion.
We complement each other, right?
What I don't have, you don't have. What you don't have, I don't have. So I have everything because I have you. You have everything because you have me.
Duality.
Exactly. Duality.
And that's the beauty of life is duality. But our men are not being taught duality. Our women are not teaching our men duality. And because of that, I'm telling you, men are good. I know so many good black men. Men are good, but they're confused as hell. And they really think that they are above us. They really, even
some of them do. Those are the ones that I'm gonna speak for my family because I got strong men in my family. My dad, my brothers, my uncles, my grandfather, my cousins. Shout out my whole family, FOE, family over everything. Like,
true.
I got solid men in my family, so thank God for them being
thank God for the solid ones.
My first and last examples, because everything that has come in between, it's been a whole lot of fuckboys that I've run into in my life as well, who are intimidated by my power, who are intimidated by my willingness to say whatever I feel or what needs to be said. Maybe that makes them feel small. Maybe that makes them feel less than, and that's not my problem. That's your problem. You feel me? Like, rise up to the occasion. I love to be in a room full of people who are smarter than me, people who have more power than me, people who are more educated than me. It humbles me. It helps me open up to receive knowledge and information, and vice versa. So, no, I'm not gonna say that it's not. It's definitely some solid, 100%, 10 toes down, solid men in my life. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my dad, because he never forced me to do anything that I didn't want to do. He was the main person that was like, look, as long as you go out into this world and do what you're supposed to be doing and you know right from wrong, we're not gonna have no problems.
People be working for the wrong thing. I'm like,
man, I'm telling you.
You know what it is? But they force sex on us at such a young age that all we think about is sex. So we grow up and we looking at people like, are you having sex with a woman? Are you having sex with a man? It's like, why are you even thinking about who anybody's having sex with?
So that's the thing. It's like, we got to tap into the Bennu Byrds of the music industry, of the music world. We got to tap into the Rhapsodies of the music world. We got to tap in, you know what I'm saying, go back, take it all the way back.
Katrina's, man.
You know what I'm saying? The Kenilworth Katrinas, and shout out to the queens, like, whole queen movement over there with her. Like, I bangs with Kenilworth. She already know what time it is. Like, Katrina, that's family right there. You know what I'm saying? But like, tap into that. You know what I'm saying? Because tap into Dior Ashley Brown, who's gonna be on my album.
Like, I gotta tap into her more. I've heard a couple joints, man. I'm really liking what I'm hearing.
Man, what? Shout out to Dior Ashley Brown. Shout out to the whole Musai house. They really helped me come into my artistry fully when I was still nervous about even sharing it with people. I learned how to play bass guitar at the Musai, at them jam sessions. So it's like, tap into women who get it, who understand what it means to be a woman, to exercise that divine feminine power, and we not out here manipulating. And to the men who encounter queens like us, humble yourself, open yourself up to us. Because if anything, we love you. We want what's best for you. We gonna beat you over your head because you need it. Some of y'all need to get beat over your head, but that's okay. That's okay, because we love you and we want to see you.
We mean beat you over the head with knowledge, though, and love.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Beat you over the head with that truth.
With that real.
You feel me? That might hurt worse than an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that truth
it hurt worse than ass whooping.
That's why it's been situations where I felt like I wanted to put hands and feet on niggas. But me being the queen that I am, you know,
that's another problem I think we as queens have, man. We put our hands on people too much, man.
I'm too cute. I'm too cute for that shit. I stopped fighting a long time ago because I'm too cute for that. But I think the truth is gonna hurt you more than me slapping fire out. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, defending yourself is one thing. We're gonna have to fight to defend ourselves. But I feel like we react and automatically like jump to like that violent side of us, and it's like, especially in a relationship with somebody, it's like, why are we hitting the person that we're laying down with every night?
Nah, that's not cool.
That's not cool.
That's never been cool.
But it's because we had to learn how to channel our energy, man, and put that cap on our
Put that
emotions.
power, yeah, put the cap on the emotions, exactly. And niggas like, no cap, no cap, no cap. It's like, y'all
Please put a
niggas
cap
need to
on it.
learn to put a cap on it. Cause y'all is flying off the handle. No, you need to learn how to put a cap on it. That's why we out here naked right now. That's why we out here slipping and losing right now. It's cause there's no cap. I'm on demon time type energy. Like, no cap means no crown. You're not tapped into your crown. You're not tapped into your divine being.
Like that, sis. Yeah.
That's what no cap means. When I hear these young niggas say no cap, it's like, y'all niggas need to learn how to put a cap on it.
Let's talk about this. There's so much I want. So I feel like this gonna have to.
Oh, we gonna go on.
When I tell you how necessary your music is, I really, 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 truly deep down mean that shit. Because the message that most people are sending nowadays is just death, hate, suffering. And your music is something that you're using to empower, to educate, but you're also entertaining. You're also like pay your dues. Think about Pay Your Dues, right? That was a hard record. It wasn't, you was talking about the blog, you was talking about things going through life in the city and all that, but you still were educated. You still were taking the time to do that. And I'm saying this to say that the only way that we can change any of this is to, for one, do what we're doing right now, have conversations about it, have like a real honest, open dialogue, no judgments, and just send out that love and send out that education. But it won't happen unless we do it together. So I'm gonna say it again, brothers. We love y'all. We know y'all suffering. We know y'all hurt. We know y'all damaged like we are, and we gonna do everything we can to make sure that we uplift you and that we lift ourselves as well. Because sisters, we need to show each other more damn love. I'm sorry, we complain too much about people not recognizing us and not showing us love and warmth.
I love you. I love you, man. For real, I love you too. Because, and I think we just all gotta rise to the occasion. Stop being so scared. What you afraid of? You should be afraid to be stuck where you are. That scares me. For me to wake up and next year I'm still in the same position that I was a year ago when I got goals and just written down on paper. It's like that makes me afraid. So it's like, rise up, rise to the occasion. That's what the energy of the Bennu like really embodies. It's like empowering you to rise up above any obstacle, above like the loss, the trauma, you know, recognizing who your true ops is, like your opposition. You hear these young niggas talk about your ops, like recognize and identify who your true opposition is. So when I talk about, I talk about a little violence, I guess you could say, in my music a little bit, but I'm talking about it in a revolutionary way. I'm talking about fighting with people who fight against me. You know what I'm saying? And picking my battles, like
not my neighbor, not my brother,
not my brother, not my kinfolk, not my skitfolk. Cause I overstand, like, you know what, bro? I know you tripping right now because I get it. I just get it. So it's like, I'm not going to be the one to reciprocate that negative energy that you give me.
I'm not going to feed that.
I'm not feeding into it. I'm going to transmute that negativity and I'm going to push nothing but positive on you and see how that works for you. See how that can change somebody's perspective. See if that gives somebody something to think about, even if you just plant the seed. So, yeah, I mean, my newest single that's out right now is called Reach for the Sky. And I feel like that record is a turn up, but it's also like putting you up on some shit, like reach for the sky, put your hands up. I don't know if it's a stick up or a turn up.
I like my when you say that part, dog, you sound like my palms like Barry. Now hold on. What's the point, man? What's the shit I'm thinking about?
I said, keep your friends close, keep your angels even closer. Enemies need not step where I ghost you. We don't know the day nor the hour, but it's closer. I need to repent. I'm killing them in this fucking Testarossa. I slipped a jab in my boxer. Keep the 45 in my boxers. I ain't boxing. I shoot a fair one, but y'all don't play fair. I want my mansion in paradise like Mayfair. I want my farms like
Barry. I'm there
for life.
Yeah.
I own the land that I settled on. The tree is my wife. I'm married to Joanna. You can call her Jane if you like. But if that bitch set me up, you can stick this in your pipe.
I'm telling you, y'all gotta tap into it. I'm telling you.
Y'all gotta just listen, listen to what I'm saying.
And that's what I was. That's actually what I was going to say to you, man. That was one of the things that I don't like gangbanging. That's a part that really, like, besides the crack era, the crack epidemic, that you know who dropped the crack off in the neighborhoods. But regardless of who did it, it was still an epidemic, and it still is.
Mm-hmm.
Gangbanging is what messed our families up too, man. And the one thing I can say about my city is that our city, right, DC, is that we did gangbang before. We beefs, like we had crews, we beef neighborhood beefs and all of that by crews and neighborhoods. We never gangbang. Now, fam, I don't know if you know this, but we got Bama's claiming Bloods and Crips. All of this crazy.
You gotta be kidding me.
In the city. I'm talking about youngins though, fam. Youngins, man. And I'm like, how are youngins able to walk down the streets throwing up rags and all this crazy crap and all these dumbass gang signs, and these other brothers, older sisters are letting this go down, man. We gotta start.
That just hurt. That just kind of hurt my feelings a lot.
Youth, man.
That just hurt my feelings a lot. Cause like, when did DC become a city of followers? Like, we always been leaders. We always been trendsetters. And, you know, this is culture. This is true culture, right? So let's talk about true culture. DC has a unique culture, unlike any place on earth. So why is it that now we're glorifying and following Chicago culture, LA culture? You know what I'm saying? Where they Bloods and Crips and Vices and all these different gangs, like that ain't never been a part of our culture. We was too busy getting fly, getting money, and getting girls to care about that type of stuff.
That messed us up too, though. I'm telling that, but see, that's the trickle down effect. That's that horrible domino effect. It started. That's where it started at. Think about all the neighborhood people who said, "Oh, I can make money like that. I'm gonna go ahead and sell crack to my neighbor."
They just criminalized the culture. They criminalized our culture just to get rid of our culture because they wanted DC to be what they wanted it to be. It was all a setup. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Mansa and my homegirl McNote. They actually filmed and directed a documentary that's called "What Happened to Chocolate City." It's been some private screenings and things like that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in a film festival coming soon. But if you've had the pleasure of doing one of the private screenings before COVID, What Happened to Chocolate City is like a super powerful, informative documentary, and it helps you really understand through a few different generations how, you know, DC culture was established, how it was destroyed, and how it's now being rebuilt into something totally completely different. DC, like, we're so unique because we have that home rule. Right. I mean, I know it's important that we become a state for a lot of different reasons on that side of the argument, like DC statehood. But then on the other side, we still have to exercise the power that we do have as a district and with our city council and our mayor and home rule. Like, we don't need nobody's permission but the people's permission to do what we want to do. So Ward 4 Councilwoman Janice Lewis George, I voted for you. I got some plans for some after school youth development programming, which I think is going to tremendously help Ward 4 and help the city as a whole with a lot of the issues that we're dealing with in our communities. Youth development has always been near and dear to my heart. It's what I believe is the key to ending gun violence, to ending substance abuse, and a lot of other closing that gap, that achievement gap. It starts with youth development. It starts with creative, positive youth development. So we definitely, I'm gonna be talking and speaking with the council, the city council, the ANC, the local ANC commissioners that we just recently elected during this past election. You know, I'm just ready to I'm ready to take this music to a level where it's like it's bigger than hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bigger than, you know, me getting a Whammy award or a Grammy award or anything like that. It's bigger than that. It's about this next generation. It's about, you know, making sure that these families are in a better position to thrive. You know what I'm saying? Not just survive. I feel like we just out here trying to survive. We need to thrive. I mean, we're here right now in 2020, and it was predicted 10 years ago that there would be an increase of maybe 20,000 or more jobs in the STEM field. And as you can see, STEM is...
Who gets those jobs?
Yeah, exactly. So we want to give our young people, we want to be able to close that achievement gap and give our young people a head start in kindergarten, first and second grade, like as early as possible to start tapping into what they're passionate about, you know, start exposing them to these different things, and then let them decide and choose what it is, their path that they want to go down. But I think the exposure piece is the most important piece. Just expose them to these fields that are underrepresented by people, melanated people, people of color, women, girls. I mean, I think they know what they're doing. They shut us out of certain things for reasons because they know anything we touch, we're going to dominate.
Like, you really look into the people who are making these decisions. There are a lot of women who are making these decisions to oppress other women.
It's weird because it's like they get a little bit of power and they think that it's like, come on, shorty, you lost your mind. You done lost it. You lost your way. It's okay.
Lost your way.
Lost your way.
We gonna bring them back, or we gonna have to dismiss them.
Yeah, they could be dismissed too.
They can be dismissed.
You know what I'm saying? Trust me, 2020, I've been dismissing a whole lot of people.
Girl, we've been making our votes heard, making them count, man.
Oh, I've been dismissing.
I'm about to box this shit.
I swear, it's like when you a rocket ship, and as a rocket ship is ascending, and as it's going higher and higher and higher, that rocket ship doesn't acquire more weight. It is actually shedding weight. It's all types of stuff start falling off the side of the jump, crash landing back on Earth. They gotta go and collect the leftovers and discard that. But that joint is going higher and higher, and as stuff just keep falling off the jump. Like that's what type of time I've been on in 2020 is like shedding the dead weight because as I go higher, purging. It's gotta go. It's gotta go. Gotta go. And it's making my spirit lighter, my energy lighter. It's allowing me to be more focused when you just eliminate the distractions and just eliminate the people, the places, the things, and the energy that just doesn't serve. As you can see what's going on, it's like the ops is really going down. Like God is taking out the opposition. So, and it's a lot of us that's going out with them. That's the sad part.
I'm like, yo, I love 2020. 2020 is exposing all the frauds.
Thank you, 2020. Thank you, God.
Exposing all the haters, all the download, secretive, backstabbers, anybody
getting exposed. Maybe anybody can get it in 2020, right? Maybe
even
you.
Maybe you.
You never know. No, that's facts. That's big facts. Like 2020, the year of clear vision, and I just been falling back and letting the chips fall where they may, and moving accordingly. And it's unfortunate because I lost a lot of homies. I had to bury my little cousin Rashard this summer. Had to bury my other homie Brandon up in Philly. Had to bury him. You know, I know a lot of friends who had to bury family and close friends as well, whether it was due to gun violence or drug addiction or whatever the case may be. I lost a good friend of mine from middle school this year due to a drug overdose. 2020 has been a bitch, man. But one thing that those losses hurt because they were so young.
Right.
And it's always gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt forever until we meet again. It's gonna hurt. And I'm gonna mourn my people until I join my people. But to understand what God is doing, it helps ease the pain a little bit because, you know, this life is temporary. Everything in this world is temporary. You feel me? My music, I pray that it's timeless. I pray that generations after me are able to still digest my music just like I still digest music from generations before me. So to create something that's timeless is a miracle and a blessing. because everything in this world really is temporary. And I think God taking away my family, taking away my friends, taking away friends of my friends, it helps me understand that it's a spiritual war that we fight. And God needs some of us to stay here on this physical plane and fight this battle, so that, and try to get as many people of his righteous people on his side. Because like I said, it's a lot of us that's going out with the opposition. He needs to keep some of us here to keep putting that energy and that wisdom and that knowledge out there and bringing us all closer to him. But there's some of us that he needed on the other side, because it's a spiritual war that's being fought.
I feel like all these good people are dying, fam. I feel like too many good people are dying, fam. I'm like, why do all the good people die young? Just take out the bad people. You know, death is something that's necessary. Death doesn't hurt me, but the death of a young person is what hurts me. The death of a good person who had way more years in them that they could use to be a vessel for God and to bless other human beings while they're on this physical plane. That's what hurts me. But death don't hurt me. I just, the fact that a lot of these fuck boys ain't dying the way they should be dying, man.
Yeah, that's the thing that be pissing me off too. I just really be like, dang, God, like, I just be trying to understand sometimes, like, why? And I guess that's the best way that I can kind of reconcile it in my mind. Like, God just need his angels on the other side to, like, fight this spiritual war that's going on. But it's like,
shit crazy.
The way this shit be going down, like Devon McNeil and Dion K.
We doing this shit. So I'm gonna be real with you, fam.
That shit hurt me.
We doing this shit to ourselves, fam. We are doing this to ourselves. Us as human beings are being used as pawns and vessels for the wrong things. We should be using our power for good, not for bad. God uses that human being as the vessel to send that blessing through.
Absolutely.
We keep shutting down these vessels, man, that God is using for good.
That's why I feel like God gonna be coming back. He's about to come down here in a minute, because like you said, we keep taking out his vessels. He's gonna have to come down here and just get rid of the bullshit once and for all.
Who is this he you speak of?
I mean, I guess it's just so normal, like natural.
Who is this he you speak of, fam?
But I speak of she. I speak of, and on my album, on this next album,
now you know how
in rare form, I refer to God in the feminine pronoun. Yeah. She. I refer to God as she. Yeah. So I'm getting myself.
I'm just messing with you. It really is a habit, but it's way more powerful. It's way more powerful and deep than we would even like to fathom. The fact that they got women,
right?
They have women calling a God he. Patriarchal regime, you know, ain't it?
Yep, that's all it is, man. I felt that too. Like, I felt the patriarchy was coming down on me when I made the Incarnation album, and you had songs like, I had Indica Sativa on there, the fucking Dress Code remix. I had a few records on that joint. Kill That Noise was on there.
That was really you actually invited me to the
Dress Code joint?
Dress Code remix joint, right? You shot that joint right there on New York Avenue, right?
Yeah,
man, I was busy. I missed it. I had to set that. I was mad as hell I didn't make it to that joint.
Yeah, I remember too. You was saying that too.
Oh.
But you know, man.
Tracks on Incarnation. I didn't even cut you off.
You Kill the Noise. Like that was the shot to the patriarchy. Like even on the song On Ice, like that was the shot to the patriarchy. Like it was so many records. Like when you go back and listen to that album, I had a lot of shit that was on my heart that I felt like it's a lot of people out here that's telling me that what I can't do. I'm tired of hearing this shit. I'm about to do what the fuck I want to do. I don't care what nobody say. Man, like me, hate me, you gonna respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just snapping on everything on that record, on that album.
You definitely was. Definitely was. I want to get back to what you're doing with your femininity and how you're setting an example, because this is really important. Because when we grew up, we were so, and I know the youth is conflicted nowadays, because when you're growing up in a society, somebody's telling you have to look like this in order to be a woman. You have to look like this in order to be a man or a real woman. And it's like, why do I have to prove I'm a woman? Why can't I just be a woman?
Right.
Why can't I
exactly
be a woman? Right.
And
So how do you keep that like courage going, man? Like for you to really put on a whole face, like whole face of makeup, fam. For you to put on feminine attire, what we would deem as feminine attire, what people say is feminine attire. Talk to me about that, man. I love it.
I just feel like it's me being true to myself, and like anybody who's close to me, who knows me, knows that I'm a woman. Like I might present dominant in the way that I dress, but that's probably the only thing that's like really dominant about me. I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? We all have feminine and masculine energy. So I just wanted to tap in. I wanted to tap in to my feminine energy more. And I feel like I always am tapped in. But I guess I wanted to present that outwardly.
Actually convey that. You wanted to show that.
I wanted to convey it. I wanted to show it. And ever so graciously and ever so eloquently and ever so respectfully and ever so naturally, and just making it be true and natural to who I am. Like I'm not about to put a dress on. That's not going to happen.
Who you are.
I'm sorry. It's just not who I am.
Right.
I've pushed myself to limits, but just wearing a dress just will never feel comfortable to me. At least that's not where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool off of that.
A kilt?
But it's certain.
A long kilt.
Hey.
Skirt, maybe.
My stylist. Shout out to my stylist, Amber Jameson. Amber is always, she be trying me. You know what I'm saying? She be trying me. I say, hey.
You wear a skirt, bro. Like, sis, ain't nothing wrong with that. I was thinking about putting on a kilt one of these days. I like, let me get the kilt, man. Ain't nothing but a skirt. I'm going to say it ain't a skirt, it's a kilt, but it's a skirt. Come on now. It ain't nothing wrong with that.
Come on.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I think it's important what you're doing, because there's a lot of women out here who are depressed and want to commit suicide because they want to sleep with a man. But that's the thing. It's like if you're a woman who claims you're a lesbian, but you're attracted to men, you have an urge to have sex with men. You have an urge to kiss a man, be with the man physically, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You're a woman.
With the mistake that you made was boxing yourself in by giving yourself the label of a lesbian.
That's what I'm saying.
Calling yourself if you would just stop calling yourself a lesbian, you wouldn't have to worry about people judging you about this, that, or the third. So it's just like I can say that I'm a lesbian for long, but guess what? I get crazy looks when people ask me, do you want to have your own kids?
Like I can have kids.
My bad.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, I just keep getting calls and shit. But I'm like, yeah, nah. I want to have my own kids. I'm going to have my own kids. God willing, I'm going to give birth to my own kids. And they just look at me crazy. Like, that's like an unheard of thing for a dominant lesbian presenting woman to like want to carry her own kid, carry a baby. I'm like, I'm a woman. I'm a whole woman.
I'm just being limited in that shorty. We can't do nothing.
Come on, like we can't do nothing. So it's just like I'm still gonna be a lesbian woman.
Well, they do that that's the argument of why people shouldn't be gay or why it's wrong to be gay is the procreation. So that's what they just try to use. And
I'm like, I'm about to trust me, baby. I'm about to shut all of that down.
Yeah.
I'm killing all the stereotypes. I'm killing all the misconceptions. I'm shutting all of that down. And it's not even like, I'm doing it as a gimmick or an image. No, this is truly who I am. And I'm about to just start coming out more with who I am. And I want to empower men would get with that, women to do the same.
I wish more men would get with that too. I feel like men are like caught up. Because like it goes back to us not educating them properly, who they are and who they come from. But many men are like caught up in this thing where if you're a lesbian, you can't have a kid. It's like, bro, just drop the sperm off and be quiet. Like, just I don't know. Like,
thank you.
And then they feel like you gotta be with them. We don't have to be. Just be the fertilizer. Be the. Like, I don't even feel like you can have a daddy as a lesbian, but you don't have to be having sex with the Bama. Like, he can be your father.
I plan on it.
Yeah, he can
plan on having a baby dad. Yeah, but I'm still be married to my wife, and
Right.
I'm gonna
What's
still have my
wrong with
wife,
that? I don't
and we
understand
gonna
why
be
we can't have
married,
a family. Why we can't make babies and be
and we
happy
can
and
just
raise
have a
kids
whole family.
and just be a whole
Yeah,
family. No
yeah.
polygamy involved because I don't.
Nah, I
That's
don't
me though
necessarily.
right there, fam. I
That's
love
me.
men.
That's
I'm
me
not
too. I
sexually
don't.
attracted to them, so it's like
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
love men too.
I
I
don't know
love
how
men
this would
too.
happen, but
It's something in me. It's a part. It's something in as a woman. It's always gonna be something in you that's gonna attract you to a man in
right.
some kind of way.
There
I
are other
love men.
halves. There are
Yeah, I love men. I
halves.
wouldn't be whole in who I am if I didn't have, like, my mother and father came together to make me. So how can I not
Right.
love part of who I am? Like,
Right.
that's
And
just
this is to
nature.
anybody. This is no shot to any lesbian couples who decide to like get sperm donors and don't go about it a natural way. You
Yeah.
know, however you decide to get pregnant, much love,
More
much
power and
respect, more
more
power
love to
to you.
you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because God is he don't see none of that anyway. We the ones that's down here bickering and caught up over
That's
that. He looking at us laughing like,
right, right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
But nah, like, however, I wanna be that example. Like, I am that example. I am being that
I'm
example. Like,
glad, man. I'm glad. And, you know, like we both said, neither one of us are attracted to men, but we love men. We understand the importance of men. We understand that they are
absolutely,
extremely necessary. But I
absolutely.
hope that what you're doing, it will allow some of the doms out here who are lying about having sex with men, some of the so-called dominant women out here, even feminine women who are lesbians, but they still lying about having sex with men. I hope it helps them get through that stage in their life where they can just be more comfortable and more courageous with who they are. Just say fuck all these labels. If
Hey.
you're a woman, you understand the psychological. Think about the shit that we're under and how we're traumatized, dog. All of this stuff that
Yeah.
they do to us as women. It's like, why would a woman feel like she would have to lie about sleeping with a man? That's deep. That's deep, fam. That's a lot of
Wow.
psychological warfare and a psychological abuse that we've been,
Right.
you know,
Right.
having to deal with.
We need to get deep into this
We do, but let's
conversation.
get
Like,
back. We're gonna do that, but let's get back.
we
Let's
gonna
get
have to
back
get
to
back.
what
We
you.
gonna have to come back
Honestly,
and have.
fam, I'm gonna be real with you, fam. You know, I'm a homicide detective at heart too. I swear to though, you would never think. I mean, my mother will tell you this. When I was in kindergarten, and they asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Guess what I said, fam? Me. Guess what I
Yes,
said?
I.
Man, I said I want to be a detective. But the thing is that I don't want to be a police officer. I can't do that. So you can't be.
Mm, mm,
They told me that
mm.
I can't be a homicide detective if I'm not a police officer first. So I said, well, I guess I won't be a homicide detective.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucks, man. But I'm really good at it. And the point of me saying is that I really love murder mysteries, and I'm really good at solving murder mysteries. So I cannot wait for you to tell me about this murder mystery series that you got going. That started out with
Yo.
Incognito, going to the Reach for the Sky. Please fill us in about the
Yes.
whole concept.
It's a dope concept. I'm so glad that you tapped in, my nigga. This is True Culture, Human Nature TV with Waddy, the Bennu Byrd. This is crazy. You tapped in. So, the murder mystery. Okay, so when I wrote Incognito, right, the whole concept came to me like naturally. I just wrote the song and then named the song, and the song was made, right? So then I started Googling, like, all right, because I was thinking, like, all right, so what am I gonna do for an album like a cover art for the damn song? I needed some inspiration, so I started tapping in. I started doing my Google
Channel
searches.
the inner Beyonce.
You know what I'm saying?
Channel that
channel my,
Beyonce.
you feel me? And I started tapping in, and I'm like, all right. I Googled incognito just to see, like, if has anybody else used this word before. What does this phrase even mean? I know what it means. I defined it in the music, in the song, and what I found was there's this graphic novel called Incognito. It was written, I forget the author, but the point is, the gentleman, the story. It's a series that talked about. I think the first book in the series, it was a guy, the main character. He went by incognito, but he was able to passed for white in the South during like segregation, and like Jim Crow. So there was a murder that had occurred, a lynching. And this guy traveled from the North to the South to investigate this murder. And he was able to blend in with these white folks down in Alabama, Mississippi, maybe it was Louisiana where they was at. And he was able to blend in. All he did was he put some, little straightener in his hair, powdered his face up a little bit just to make it a little bit more white. But he was able to pass for white. And I thought, and the title he gave himself was Incognito. And it was a murder mystery. And then it was a second book that had came about where it was in Harlem. They were up in Harlem. And I just like the way that they was dressed. It was like that Renaissance era.
One of my favorite, hold up, yo, I know exactly who you're talking about. You're talking about one of my favorite authors, and I cannot believe.
Is it Van Pleece?
I cannot think of the name.
Is his last name Pleece or something like that? I had the book. I had got it from the library. I had to take it back to the library.
Right now, I can't think.
But that was the inspiration behind making it a murder mystery because of that. And it was just like, wow, like our people were really passing and going undercover and really like diving in. And I just thought that was just such an interesting thing. I would hear my great grandmother talk about that all the time, how she had siblings that could pass, and she could pass for white. And they would get on trains to go across the country, and her brothers and sisters had to sit up in the back of the train, in the colored section.
People make all variations of
yeah, exactly.
I mean, white folks come from us.
So it's like when you know that and you understand that, it's not even shocking. But as a young person, knowing what the limited amount of information I had, I just thought that was so interesting. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what really inspired me to make it into a murder mystery. Just after learning that Incognito was the title of a murder mystery. So it was like, okay, so after Incognito dropped, I put out Reach for the Sky, and it's like, okay, is it a stick up or a turn up? So it kind of helps guide the story.
I like how you did that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is this next record, my next single, which is coming out in December, is it going to be a stick up or is it going to be a turn up? And I have some visuals, some ideas for some visuals that I'm going to shoot. And so I just really need everybody to tap in because you're not going to always get it. You can't see the whole picture. We putting the puzzle pieces in place, but soon the full picture is going to come into view. And I think the people are going to be excited and happy and just proud of
I know I am.
Just the level up and just everything, the evolution that I've been going
I'm loving your growth, fam. I got to tell you that before we get out of here. I love your growth. I love the fact that you are not changing who you are, but you are evolving and growing and becoming a better woman every day. Every release, every project, you're just growing and growing, but you're not changing. I love it.
I love it too. Thank you. Thank you so much. It reaffirms that I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. The Most High is guiding me. He's ordering my steps. I'm changing the lives of these young people just by simply being who I am and not being afraid, being fearless, and just living in my truth, walking in my purpose. And I'm just happy that it's resonating with you and resonating with everybody watching this interview. So to all my young people out there that's watching this, Gabriel, Tajay, Akeem, Sky, Asia, Richard, Kadiatu, Ibrahim, Muhammad, every I can't name all of y'all, Caesar, Abdul, all of y'all. I love y'all. I do this for y'all. This is for my example and my greatest gift that I can give to y'all. God gave me a gift. I'm sharing my gift with y'all. I want y'all to be empowered to go out here and do the right thing all the time. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but have it in the intention in your heart to do what's right always. And even if you fall short of that, I'm going to be here for you. Waddy is going to be here for you. For sure. Your village, your tribe, your family, God is going to be here for you. We're going to pick you up. Trust me, I've bit the dust so many times in my life. I could have quit. I could have been dead. I could have been locked up. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a lot of things that happened to me. And it's a lot of things that happen to a lot of people that are close to me. And it's a lot of, my kids are experiencing the same things that I experienced, losing family and losing friends. And it's like, just do you. Block out the noise, block out the distractions, stay focused on your goals and what you're trying to accomplish, and don't be afraid to just be who you are. Even if you don't know who you are yet, it's okay. Like, it's okay to not know who you are.
If you don't know who you are, just be kind, be loving, be understanding, and just be
graceful.
Courageous. And that will lead you to who you are.
That will lead you to who you are. And understand that everybody's on their path to figuring out who they are and becoming who they're supposed to be.
And the universe is working in everybody's favor, you guys. I want to
everybody's favor all the time. We the ones that work against
certain people. Yeah, like certain people get blessings and certain people don't. Listen, the universe is working in everybody's favor. Just because this one stop on the journey or that 2 or 3 stops on the journey has been hurtful, been painful. You might have lost an arm, a leg. You might have lost whoever. But guess what? Keep going on that journey. It's gonna lead you to the right. Those painful things gonna lead you to something good.
Yes, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. Everything is happening for you. You have to keep that mantra in your spirit. Like,
that's it, right?
Hey, why is this happening to me? Like, no, it's happening for you. It's something that you're supposed to get out of it. So once you finish crying and complaining about it, like you said, cry for 5 minutes, but then refocus your energy on what you're supposed to receive from what's happening in your life. And so I just want to say, I appreciate y'all so much. The Bennu Byrd in rare form, the album is coming very soon. The main thing I need to do, I need to turn these likes, these comments, and these shares into some downloads. I want y'all to just go download the music. Just go play the music, man.
Support is
your
free.
Soul, your spirit, your energy is going to thank you for consuming these frequencies. So tap in.
And you gotta fuel the good. Hashtag fuel the good. That's my thing. That's our thing over here, True Culture. If you're not fueling the good, you're fueling the bad. We gotta stop fueling the bad entities out here. Bennu Byrd always keeps it true. She always keeps it real. So it's only right her clothing company is called Tralumni, right? She got dope designs. Man, I want you to go ahead and tell us about Tralumni real quick and your flavors and your designs and how that came about.
Indeed, man. So Tralumni was actually conceived by my young cousin Jada. She was just sketching in her notepad one day and was just like, I peeped what she was doing and I saw the name Tralumni. I'm like, what is that? Like, that's dope. And so Tralumni is a family-owned sportswear company based right here in Washington, D.C. And we use innovative fashion design to empower and inspire creativity in all people. As you can see, the jacket that's hanging behind me, that's a one-of-one colorway. Thank you. But that jacket is a lot of very dope, intricate details in this signature regalia suit that really embodies the importance of being book smart and street smart. But I also know that it's a lot of young people who listen to my music, and hip hop is about education. And it is about, the MC, the art of being an MC is about your lyricism, and I'm a lyricist. And so I don't mind sprinkling a couple big words in there.
You should.
It might definitely should. Somebody want to be like, damn, I like what she said. That shit was clever. I caught what she said, but that word, like, I never heard that word before. I want somebody to listen to my lyrics and want to go Google some shit. Right. Like, damn, what does that word mean? And look it up. And then it helps you dive even deeper into what it is that I'm saying. So it's a journey. It's an educational journey. I'm not about to just give it all to you, but I'm going to spark your interest. And I'm going to make you want to seek the knowledge out for yourself and get out of it what you want to get out of it. See, but that's the thing about culture. Like, going away to college, I was dipped in a lot of culture. So you might hear me say some shit that my Brooklyn niggas say. You might hear Brooklyn niggas start talking like they from DC. You know what I'm saying? It's really homage. It's really homage. It's paying homage. Yeah. When you cool with people and you know they've immersed you and embraced you and brought you into their culture and vice versa. Like, I used to throw go-go's in Atlanta. I booked multiple go-go bands from
That's awesome.
T.O.B.,
Wow.
Reaction, Backyard,
Wow.
TCB. I've never personally booked Backyard
Yeah,
Band, but I booked so many new impressions. Like, shout out to every lead mic of all of them bands. Like, y'all know what's up. We brought a few bands down to Atlanta just so I can be proud of where I'm from. And they hear me talking about it all the time. And they hear me riding around playing the music all the time.
Heavy on the percussion, man.
You know what I'm saying? Real heavy.
For me.
Real heavy on the percussion.
Hey.
He said it's the percussion. It's the rototoms for me.
Hey, it's the rototoms for me. Oh,
it's
man.
the cowbell for me. So it's like, come on.
I dig it.
It's all love. It's all homage, man. But DC, we got to get back on our ish, man. Y'all youngins, man, we got to get back to being creative.
We need the love back to the city.
Innovative.
We need the community back. We need the unity back. We need the love.
Hey.
We need people.
I don't like that. I don't like seeing us fighting off of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see DC niggas trying to be like Chicago niggas or trying to be like, it's like, pay homage. You know what I'm saying? Embrace other culture because we all family at the end of the day. But it's like,
if y'all gonna be like any niggas, be like them Atlanta niggas. Them niggas get money and they unify. They unify and they get money and they support each other.
Facts.
Be like them Atlanta niggas if you gonna be like any of these niggas. Ain't nobody tripping on no Cali gangs, no Chicago gangs, none of that, man. Y'all tripping. These youngins are tripping, man. And if anybody hears a youngin talking about they in the gang in DC, anywhere, damn it. Anywhere.
Kill that noise, man.
Kill that noise.
Stop the madness. Stop the madness.
Stop that madness. Well, we've come to the point in our show, fam. It is time for the quick six.
Quick six.
So I'm going to ask you 6 quick questions. Give me 6 quick answers, okay?
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Now, in the past, our ancient ancestors were buried with items they believed that they would need in the afterlife. Name an item you would want to be buried with so you could use it in the afterlife.
I say my Holy Quran.
I dig it. What fun activity from your childhood do you feel has been completely ruined for kids today?
You said completely ruined?
Yes.
I say it's like riding bikes. Just going on adventures.
Real talk. Oh my God.
I don't see too many kids outside riding bikes.
When I tell you,
I see the older ones, they be riding.
Much.
Don't get me wrong, they be riding, but I'm talking about the little ones.
The little ones,
they don't ride enough.
You right.
Out. They in they electronics and shit. They don't be out.
Yeah, they be outside. They worry about PS5s and Xboxes and all that. Name a social stigma that you feel society needs to get over.
A social stigma that society needs to get over. That we are black. I feel like black, the word black is like not even, doesn't even begin to encompass who melanated people, aboriginal people truly are. We need to get rid of that word black. We need to stop calling ourselves black.
We need to get rid of all these color labels, fam, for real. It's just ridiculous. Somebody's telling me, well, white is the purest color. I'm like, bro, white is not a color. It is actually the absence of color.
Like, cut it out. What do you got?
Cut it out. Kill that noise, man. Kill that noise. Ain't none of that shit real. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Man, I would make everybody just like turn to love, like act in love all the time.
I dig that.
I feel like love is the cure for everything. And if we have it in us, we just gotta just tap into our human nature and just stay true to that. And I think we'll be just fine.
Me too.
So I just love universal love.
There you go. Hey, look, well said, well put by my universal sister. Yeah. Now, if you could get rid of 3 things in America, what would they be?
Racism, guns, and I say guns in the way of like, cause like, we need guns to be able to like hunt. If we want to like kill an animal, maybe we could still kill animals. We could still hunt animals without guns. So we really don't need guns to hunt animals. And
guns for the people who have guns who are trying to kill us.
Yeah, so maybe I just
that's what got us in slavery times. We had guns, dog.
Right. So maybe that's what I want to get rid of too. It's like these people out here, like the ops, the real ops. Like, let's get rid of the real ops. Like the people who are the ops of God. Like if you're not in the business of doing the will of God, if you're in the business of trying to annihilate the people of God, then I would just want to annihilate you. So the real ops.
I'm with you on that, fam.
I guess that's what I mean by that. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely support my right to my second amendment.
Right? Come on now, ain't we? Hey, fam, one thing we not finna get caught with is without our guns. I'm sorry, you're not gonna catch me without our guns. I don't know about y'all, but you're not gonna catch me without.
Don't get it twisted. Right.
Now, what is the? Okay, one more thing, because I think I cut you off and you only named 2 things.
Okay, so we said racism.
What else?
And
we already pretty much got rid of Trump, so we ain't got what you saying.
Yeah, no, boy. But honestly, man, I get rid of food deserts because I feel like
answer.
Food deserts. That's my last thing. Cause like I've seen the disease of racism and white supremacy, and you couple that evil with the access to firearms, and then like our inability to even nurture our bodies, like that's just, I feel like those are the top 3 things.
The terrible mixture
taking
right
away
there.
our lives right now. Like it's preventing us from living and existing right now. Is those things. So I would get rid of those.
Basic human needs. Food,
come on,
water, shelter. Basic.
And not feel threatened, we at the top of the food chain. We are God's most perfect creation. We are his, like, the highest creation on this planet. So like, why should we fear being annihilated by anything but God at this point?
Like, well, I mean, when you fear a person who does not, a person who doesn't fear death is a person who is not a good slave. So they put this fear of death in us so that we can be good slaves. You know, like our ancestors used to jump off the boat. I'm not. Anything is better than this. Because we knew we believed in reincarnation. We knew that when I die, I'm coming back anyway. So I'm not fitting to sit here and live this life for the next 80, 100, whatever years. But
at the hands of another man? No.
Right.
No. Right. Absolutely not. People playing God? No.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that, fam. I'm with you on that. If you were stranded on a deserted island and could only listen to 3 artists for the rest of your life, who would you choose? What 3 artists would you choose?
I'll probably say Earth, Wind, and Fire. Shaka Khan and Whitney Houston.
Man, my sister. Solid answer.
Can't go wrong with them 3.
Solid answer. Man, rest in peace, Whit. Man, I miss Nippy, man. It's terrible what the world does. The God gives us these beautiful people, these special gifts, and the world just tears them down, man. Rest in peace.
Man, rest in peace, Whitney Houston. Rest in power, baby.
Man, it's crazy.
Hey, shout out to Shaka Khan, because she be liking my comments on I be commenting on her posts, man. She always showing me love. The legendary Shaka Khan.
Shaka the shit.
Shaka got it. Shaka will never not have it. You hear me?
Shaka got it, dog.
She'll never not have it.
Never not have it, man. Much love to Shaka Khan, for sure.
Shout out to her, man. Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was if you pay attention to Earth, Wind, and Fire and their album covers, they been tapped in. They been tapped into the divine
all the way. You see, they tapped into their feminine side too. Like, they tapped in all the way. Those some solid answers, fam. Tell them where to find
Appreciate you.
Social media and how to contact you for bookings.
Man, you can find me everywhere. Bennu Byrd, BENNU, Byrd with a Y, not an I. Bennu Byrd. You can find me everywhere. Just search Bennu Byrd. For bookings, just email. You can email bennubyrd11@gmail.com. The number 11, that's a master creative number. So Bennu Byrd, the number 11 at gmail.com for all booking. info.
Bennu Byrd even knows about master numbers. You're super impressive. Super impressive. You're into numerology and astrology. Awesome. Thanks again for being here, Bennu Byrd.
Hey, thanks for having me, Waddy. It's been real, man. This is the most genuine, realest conversation probably I done had the whole year. I appreciate you, man. Real talk. Thank you.
Oh man, it means more to me than you could ever know. I really appreciate you saying that, sister. We're gonna leave this show the way we leave every show, on a positive note. In overthrowing me, you have done no more than cut down the trunk of the tree of liberty. It will spring back from the roots, for they are numerous and deep. That's a quote by the late great Toussaint Louverture. Thanks again to Bennu Byrd for joining us for the tap in. We got fully tapped in with her. I can't wait for her to come back. Her next project, I'm pretty sure she'll be back. But right now, tap into the Incognito, tap into Reach for the Sky, and make sure you check out all her projects. Stay up to date with True Culture on YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, and Instagram at HUEman Nature TV. That's HUEMAN Nature TV. Sisters and brothers, the revolution may not be televised, but it will be broadcast. True Culture on HUEman Nature TV. Peace.